Good morning. Today is Thursday and we talk of the future, the knowledge. But today let me don a new cap, or shall I say put on a new turban, and let me become a bit of a astrologer, a bit of a soothsayer. We have to face the future, and let me make some predictions for the future. What the future is holding us, what shall we be, how shall we be facing the life. And what I'm going to talk is no astrology, it's just deduction. I want to provide a fresh perspective on the challenges and opportunities of today that are going to reveal what the world would be after approximately 22 years. I'm talking of the time when the fourth industrial revolution will come to its apex, the height. So here are my 8 predictions based on my discussions with the world leaders, world thinkers in the Global Governance Council. And my first prediction is that all products shall become services. You will not own anything, not a home, not a car. And in distant memory of 30s, you will have cracked clean energy and water, what they need on demand. It sounds utopian, but every move shall be tracked outside the city where you live, millions of discontented. And this has been the ultimate vision of the society divided into two. The cities would have all these services. The countryside may not have those services, but the products would be services. The beginning has been done with Uber and others in this area. So slowly you won't need to possess things. You would slowly order things, so services would replace products. The second prediction would be that there will be a global price on carbon. In 2017, you would see that China is taking a lead in trading carbon, and it will lead to powerful incentive to remove our dependence on fossil fuels. You see, Europe is at the center of a very cheap, efficient solar panels, and the prices of the renewables are going to fall sharply. Since China and India are the leaders in pollution creation, at least one of them, according to me, that would be China, would be a leader in setting the price of the carbon as well. They have already started doing it because they are dealing with pollution not as an issue but as a resource. You see, last time I had talked about making diamonds from the pollution, about making art products from the pollution. It's all Chinese who are doing it. So they will be market setters for the global price. The third would be that the supercop of the world would be no more a supercop. US would not be a predominant world power. As a matter of fact, what I perceive is that the era of one or two single superpowers is over. This is a multilateral world, and you would find US thrown aside. That's a historical fact. All important, all powerful countries, civilizations are replaced. Nothing is permanent ever. So the US dominance, which started after the First World War, has continued till now. It might continue for another 5 to 7 years. but the decreasing impact would be seen visibly. And after the next decade, it shall be what England became when India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Burma became free in 47-48. A has-been country. And who will replace them? I visualize it will be major semi-imperial countries like China, Russia, Japan, Germany, and India. But the biggest thing would be that the countries would be losing their importance as nation states and the cities would become much more important. Cities like Toronto in Canada, New York, San Francisco and Chicago in USA, Shanghai and Hong Kong, not Beijing, in China, Nippon, Kobe, in Japan, Shanghai in China, Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore and Hyderabad in India, and Moscow and Petersburg in Russia. They will become the centers of the world power because the online identities would be much more powerful. And now coming to the health care. The technology would have disrupted diseases and the care would be replaced. Hospitals would not be required any longer. What will be using is home hospitals. Home shall become a place for cure. So house to home would be the transcending things. There will be fewer accidents because of the self-driving cars. Preventive and personalized medicine will be much more important. And organ donors, tiny robotic implants, tubes, and even bioprinted organs would be available by 2030. Now you will be amazed. I'm condensing this. As a matter of fact, what I'm predicting today is so vast that imagination staggers. And another thing, you'll be becoming more and more vegetarian. The trend is visible all now. You will treat meat as a treat rather than as a staple food. It won't be the big agriculture will be winning. It will be a combination of the two. You would find more and more people going in for home gardens. Even window gardening would become a habit of the people. Herbs, vegetables, local produce would be predominant. The farms will become smaller on one side in the cities. And most of the cities would be self-sustaining because every home would be producing fruits, vegetables, whether bonsai or on windows, and the process will reach its culmination. And once you have the luscious fruit and vegetables fresh on your windowsill and your kitchen garden, I'm not talking of the back garden, I'm talking of the kitchen garden basically. It will be your kitchen itself. You will like to eat that rather than eat meat. And one thing more, I'm always opposing the refugees and immigration, yes. But these immigrants, some of them would become the CEOs. 20, 30 CEOs you would find, majority would be the immigrants. They have to face an uphill task, integrating. And they have to prove their capabilities and prove their worth. This increased competition will force them to excel in every field. And when they excel, what happens? They become the CEOs. They become the deciding factors. You know, it's a push and pull. Push by their need and pull by their imagination, their challenge facing. And then, most important would be that the values that we are promoting today in the West would be thrown, would be discarded. These values are mostly a camouflage for covering their own covetousness, their greed, their desire to empower themselves and enslave others. So these values of the West shall be discarded. These values shall be values that will fall by the downside, and you will find more impact of Chinese philosophy, Japanese philosophy, and the Indian philosophy. Karma, meditation, Tibetan know-how, the concept of Buddhism, they would be much more important in that world. They'll come to a breaking point even. And one thing more, by 2030, you would be ready to move human beings towards a red planet. You would find in these 30 odd years, 22 odd years, evidence of life on the alien planets. And the practical applications of the space technology would be there. And that application and the enhancement in the transport would be such that you will be traveling to the red planet. Now, referring to the transport is a different matter. You would be able to fly from London to New York in 20 minutes. But that's not my prediction for 2030, because that's going to happen by 20, shall I say, 20? Yeah, by 2020 or 2025, much earlier than you expect. So, but then I'll take that up next week, how the fast transport system is moving. So these predictions, whether they are at micro level or at macro level, would be creating a new world where nation states would be replaced by the city states, where meat eaters would be enjoying meat as a treat rather than as a routine food, where the products will not be there but the service will be there, where global carbon would be priced by China, where you will not have one international supercop, but 5 to 7 predominant powers who would be the trendsetters. And most important, the hospitals would be replaced by hospitals. People would still be, even when chronically sick, would be receiving the tender care from their dear and near ones in the homes, in the environment where they are familiar with. Now, these 8 predictions are based on my deduction and based on the logical conclusions. They are 99% going to be justified. You can jot it down today. And I'm willing to bet about the 99% accuracy of these predictions coming true in 2030, when you would say, what a brave new word. And at that time you would think, well, what was that word we were living in? Fractious? Wait for the medical sciences? Waiting for everything? Now, this is not going to be utopia. Now, let me be very clear. 2030 is not going to be a utopia. It's not going to be dystopia as well. It shall only be a changed world. Whether the change is for the good or for the bad is different. But these predictions which I have told you would become commonplace for you and make your life different than what it is today. I do not go into the effects because they have yet to be seen. But one thing is sure, life will become a bit less of a drudgery, a definitely bit more comfortable, and our perceptions shall undergo a wider change, and the values that we cherish shall be replaced by the new values. That's what the life is going to be. Wait, watch, and anybody wants to make a bet, I'm willing.